thank you. I'm going to go ahead and call roll, and I would ask that when you acknowledge if you're here, if you'll be able to stay until 5 p.m., starting with Joel Barton.
Here.
Jacob Lopez.
Here.
Diana Love.
Here.
Michael Mark.
Here.
Henry Nutt.
Here.
Steve Pinelli, believe that he has an excused absence. James Ruane.
Here.
Mary has an excused absence. Alan Guy.
Here.
Susan Granzella.
Here.
Amanda Gallo. And Miguel has an excused absence. So I count 10 board members that'll be here. David Delatorre, did I miss you? Sorry. Here, excellent, okay. Obviously, we needed a Robin to call this roll. That's okay. Yeah.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to turn the items back to Chair Mark for legislation.
Thank you, Board Chair Love. So our next item is agenda item G2. We're going to table this item until possibly at the end of the agenda. If not, we will move this to our next board meeting. So we're tabling agenda item G2. We're going to move to page 231, agenda item G3. So turning to page 231, 232, sorry, 231, 232, and 233. So 233. Review, discussion, and possible action on comments received during the 45-day comment period regarding previously board-approved proposed rulemaking to amend Title 16, California Code of Regulations, Section 810, 832.10, and 832.46. Definitions: Class C-10 Electrical Contractor and Class C-46 Solar Contractor. We have now reached an item that many people here today wish to discuss. For newer members on the board, I'd like to provide some background. Staff have discussed this issue at public meetings for more than 8 years. It first came up in 2016 in a question from industry about the appropriate license classifications to install battery energy storage systems, which are also sometimes called BESS, B-E-S-S for short. In 2016, and in response to the specific public inquiry, the CSLB Enforcement Division concluded that electrical contractors should install BESS. Later, the CSLB registrar at the time noted that a C-10 or an A general engineering contractor may install BESS. Then, between 2017 and present day, CSLB staff have consistently responded to specific inquiries that the C-46 Solar Contractor classification may only install battery energy storage system if it is installed at the same time as a solar energy system. Staff has also stated the classification does not include a standalone contract for a BESS or retrofitting an existing solar system with a BESS, as these are contracts for a separate electrical system. These views were eventually challenged, and CSLB contracted with UC Berkeley to study several different options for amending CSLB regulations to address BESS. The UC Berkeley report, among other things, concluded C-46 solar contractors should not install BESS at all. After UC Berkeley presented its findings at the July 27, 2021 board meeting, the board voted to rescind the informal staff interpretations that a C-46 solar contractor can install BESS at the same time as a PV system. This vote led to a lawsuit against the board for not following the rulemaking process. The board then resolved to follow the regulatory rulemaking process, which brings us here today. At the November 2020 one board meeting, staff proposed regulatory language to the board that would do what UC Berkeley recommended. Completely prohibit C-46 solar contractors from installing BESS. The board rejected that proposal and asked staff to continue working with stakeholders. Staff did a lot of work with experts in the industry on both sides to reach a middle ground and presented preliminary findings at the March 2022 board meeting. The board reviewed staff findings, preliminary findings, and directed staff to consult with an expert to arrive at a kilowatt hour, short for kWh, threshold above what would no longer be appropriate for a C-46 to install a BESS. Staff did additional research, published an additional study, and proposed that a C-46 can install BESS at the same time as a PV system if the BESS does not exceed 80 kilowatt hours. At its June 16, 2022 public meeting, the board approved staff to start the regulations process to amend the scope of the C-46 solar contractor classification regulation to do the following. State that BESS is not part of a PV system. Provide that a C-46 solar contractor may install BESS at the same time they are installing a PV system if the BESS to be installed does not exceed 80 kilowatt hours. This is the proposal that is being finalized today. After the board first approved this proposal on June 16, 2022, staff initially filed the rulemaking with the Office of Administrative Law, OAL for short, which triggered the 45-day public comment period between June 16, 2023 and August 3, 2023. Staff received 975 public comments, which are summarized and responded to in pages 235 through 295 of today's packet. I would like to make an extraordinary clear that the items for discussion today is whether the board, by majority of vote, approves of the responses to written comments that are in the packets between pages 235 and 295, and authorize the registrar to finalize and submit the proposed rule to the OAL, Office of Administrative Law, for its review and final approval. Staff are not proposing modifying the regulation, leaving the board with the two options as described in the agenda: to withdraw the rulemaking or approve the staff recommendation. The board may still vote to modify the proposal if it finds an alternative is preferable, but as a practical matter, this is not enough time to modify the proposal before the June 16, 2024 deadline for the board to finalize the current rulemaking. So if the board would like to modify the current proposal, it can do so, but they will likely involve starting a whole new regulation process. If the board approves the staff recommendation, staff will plan to submit the final rulemaking documents to OAL, and if OAL finds the board's documents comply with all the requirements, the regulation will be approved and become effective on October 1st, 2024 or earlier. With that, I will note that Attorney Ryan Marcroft is here at the table to help answer any legal questions, along with Elizabeth Olson. Before we go to public comment, I will note that we are providing a very strict 3 minutes per commenter given the large number of speakers today wishing to speak on this item. We do ask that you kindly consider not repeating comments by others to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to speak. There's a timer on the wall to my right that will restart at 3 minutes. The staff recommendation is to consider and approve the responses drafted to address public comments received during the 45-day comment period on the board's proposed regulation related to definitions Class C-10 Electrical Contractor, Class C-46 Solar Contractor, and authorize the Registrar to take all steps necessary to complete the rulemaking and adopt the proposed regulations, Section 810, Section 832.10, and Section 832.46 as noticed. So do I have a motion to accept the staff recommendation and authorize final rulemaking? And maybe if it's, I have a commenter from the board, Barton.
Oh, you were asking for a motion, so I was going to submit the motion.
Hang on one second. Let's revise the motion to read this. Revise the motion. So, just for clarification, there is on page 234, it says that accept the staff recommendation. And then the full motion that is, that staff recommends would be, and I'll repeat the motion. Motion to approve the responses drafted to address public comments. There was some background talking in the back. Can you please be quiet? Motion to approve the responses drafted to the address public comments during the 45-day comment period on the board's proposed regulation related to definitions, Class C-10 Electrical Contractor and Class C-46 Solar Contractor. Approve the amended regulations and authorize the registrar to take all steps necessary to complete the rulemaking and adopt the proposed regulations as sections 810, 832.10, and 832.46 as noted. That is the requested staff motion. Is there a motion on the floor?
Yeah, I'd like to make the motion to approve the recommendation of staff.
So I have a motion by Joel Barton to approve the staff recommended motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Henry Nutt. Are there any board comments or questions before we take it to public comment? Seeing none, I would like to make sure we're going to open up to public comment before we take our vote. So this is what I'm asking for. Mike Jaminski, can you identify which staff is helping with public comments so we can keep this orderly? Is it Robin, are you helping with public comment?
Sure.
Okay, so first up to the podium, please state your name. I guess. So, in the Giants hat? No. So, first, someone come up to the podium. Go ahead, sir. Please state your name, and you have 3 minutes. And as we were stating earlier, can you please line up behind the podium? Yes, that's perfect. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Randy Williamson. Work for a contractor. One thing I would like to state is, and I thank you for your time hearing us. Starting out to talk about the battery energy storage systems, they could be very hazardous if you don't know what you're doing. It's more than just power off the roof, but once that power is stored in batteries, that's when it has the potential to be very hazardous. Part of our training is a 5-year program, and plus we have an additional 32 hours mandatory every time we recertify. So is additional training that keeps us safe, and it protects the homeowner's property. And we also install these systems in hospitals and in major computer systems to make sure that they retain power in case of a loss of utility power. So I don't think it should be taken so lightly, because a lot of time, effort, and energy has been placed in our training. And I think oftentimes it's seen as an economic issue, but it's really safety. And again, not to discount anybody's skill or their ability, but we've spent a lot of time in making sure that we're safe, the community is safe, property is safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, board members and staff. My name is Jorge Torres, and I am a member of the Western States Carpenters, representing over 90,000 carpenters, millwrights, pile drivers, and related crafts. Workers who have few years worked on solar and battery storage projects throughout California. It is clear from the rulemaking process, which included thousands of pages of written and verbal testimony, that this is a rule searching for a problem that does not exist. C-46 and C-10 contractors routinely and successfully install battery energy storage systems. As commentators and research pointed throughout the rulemaking process, these installations have been done safely and efficiently throughout the state of California. There is no evidence that the installation of battery energy storage systems by C-46 contractors have posed any harm to their employees or the general public. The research is clear. Your own rulemaking is clear. C-46 and C-10 contractors can and should be able to continue to install battery energy storage systems according to the owner and general contractor's discretion. We urge you to withdraw the ruling. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me come up here today. My name's Greg Kennedy. I'm the founder of Occidental Power Solar and Energy Storage in San Francisco. I've been in the business for 44 years. We installed the first energy storage system in San Francisco, permitted in 1996. We've been a leader in this field, and we are proud to say that we have hundreds, if not thousands, of people that we take care of and service. If this move were to be made where you would eliminate the opportunity for those of us in the industry to service and warranty all these battery systems that we put out for health reasons and otherwise for people, that would be a constraint and it would be a disservice to the consumers and the citizenry of California. In my view, this is purely a power grab. I came from, in the 70s, the IBEW family-owned electrical contracting firm. I know what it takes to do this work, and the C-46 license works. I also have been honored to work with the California State License Board to vet the questions. And I've come up here and spent many a day to make sure the best questions are asked so that people who take the test are qualified to meet that requirement. We're a dynamic industry. It would be a hit against the commerce of California. There are so many people working in this field. We've helped develop the green collar jobs throughout the city and Bay Area, and to put those people at risk of losing their jobs, our people, you would be hurting many families, plus the consumers. We are a firm that takes care of our people. We engineer, build, design, we provide retirement and health care. You would be doing a great disservice to the solar industry in California and the United States. Thank you for your time.
And please, we'd like to hold applause for all commenters. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Megan Stimler. I'm here representing my family's C-46 Solar and Battery Contractor in Diamond Springs, California. I'm here to talk to you about my lead installer, Benjamin Fusey. He's been with us since 2011, and this is a picture of him in his 6th grade science project, building a solar system with a battery 33 years ago. What you are voting on today is going to enable him from doing what he's been doing since 6th grade, building a solar and battery system. He is NABCEP certified, which is, you guys cut me off. He's NABCEP certified, which is a national certification of energy practitioners. He is certified in Tesla, Franklin, Energy Whole Home. He is certified in Enphase, Solar Edge, SunVault, Magnasign, LG. The list goes on of how many batteries he has installed since 2011. If a lot of people are going to come up here today and say the very simple process is going to go get your C-10 license. He is ineligible of becoming an electrician for 4 years. He's ineligible of becoming an apprentice for 4 years. You are going to destroy his livelihood. You're going to destroy C-46 livelihoods from moving forward. How do I continue? Where do I go on from here? Please vote no. You're going to affect our communities. You're going to affect the consumers. I can't go sell a battery today and fix it in 50 days from now. You're going to bar my customers from coming to me to fix a repair on a warranty. Why? I installed that system. down and signed a contract for 10-year installation warranty. But I'm going to be ineligible to fix that system I installed. Please vote no. This is unethical.
Hello, my name is Al Rich, president of ACR Solar in Carmichael, California, and thank you for the great work that the CSLB does. However, in my 45 years in solar, I have never seen an assault on solar contractors as we have seen over the past 5 years. The proposal that's made, we're fighting to protect C-46 Solar Contractor's ability to install energy storage systems. Simple as that. And just as the young lady said before, all of our installers go through all these classes. They're expert at what they do. They're specialists. They know what they're doing, and we do it well, and we do not have problems. And there's nothing statistically showing that shows any reason for there to not be C-46s and C-10s allowed to install and repair solar systems. The proposal would prohibit C-46 contractors from installing batteries over 80 kilowatts in size, which we feel is very limiting. The proposal is also an assault on small business. It prohibits C-46 contractors to do any and all repair and maintenance and retrofit on existing systems of all sizes, and we install the darn thing. Why can't we fix it? It's just an absurdity that this got proposed and this is even being considered. It's an illogical limitation. It effectively renders the 80 kilowatt threshold useless. What the CSLB is really trying to do is put C-46 solar contractors out of business and hurt consumers at the same time. This is truly nonsense. We must stop this. It's very, very damaging and wrong-headed to think this way. We can't just run out and get C-10 licenses. It isn't a viable solution. As again, she said, that it's just too much to expect somebody to be able to turn around. And there's thousands and thousands of people that would be affected. The damage would be incredible. California Labor Code allows C-10s to hire certified electricians and registered apprentices in a 1-to-1 ratio for all electrical work. Again, the damage that this would cause is just almost incomprehensible. And I just beg of you all that these restrictions are, what the utilities and the labor unions want to kill our business, to kill solar, to take us out. And they're doing that in so many ways. This isn't the only thing. We've been fighting these solar battles for a long time. Thank you. Anyway, please rule against this horrible, horrible measure that'll do so much damage. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you very much for allowing public comment. My name is Janine Cotter, and you saw me in August as well. You also saw my colleague Billy Hall, who came to Luminalt through the Workforce Development Program through Go Solar SF, which was started by Gavin Newsom when he was mayor of San Francisco. The idea was get people who have barriers to employment through workforce training funds, invest in them, provide them a career and a pathway towards upward mobility. And Billy Hall was one of those people, along with Melissa Brewster, our crew lead who manages all of our crews, Pamela Kwan. They all came through that workforce development program. Billy would not be allowed to do the work that he does today, every day, day in, day out. I noticed in the book that the law requires the board to respond in writing to all public comments received. My colleague, Billy Hall, came here and gave public comment. He is not in the book. He said that his hours that he has performed over the last 10 years and his certifications as installing the Tesla Powerwall and other batteries and other solar installation equipment, those hours that he spent on that do not qualify him to sit for the certified electrician exam. What you are doing if you vote yes is that you are knocking out the promise that was made to individuals in 2008 that they would have a job if they did the right thing, and they did the right thing. He goes to classes, he works hard, and his colleagues work hard. This would eviscerate the work that he does. Now, the other thing that I want to say is that when Go Solar SF happened, we came to the CSLB because we have a C-10 electrical license as well as a C-46, and we have a B, and we were told, hire them under the C-46, and so that you can hire them, because you cannot hire them under the C-10. And so we participated in workforce investment, we participated in their training, and we hired them and recruited them and trained them and stewarded their careers. Finally, due to the work that I have done in workforce investment, I am the chair of the Workforce Investment Board of San Francisco. I also was a member of the advisory board for the National Renewable Energy Labs.
Your time is up. I
All right,
apologize.
thank you.
Hi, I'm Josh Garcia for the NorCal Carpenters Union, representing 38,000 members throughout 11 trades and related craft workers, and also representing the unrepresented working class. I'll be brief, and I'll give a quick quote. As the board's own statement, the reason states that, statement of reason, states, C-46 and C-10 contractors have installed PV systems paired with BESS over the years without harm. C-46 and C-10 contractors can and should be able to continue. Instead of making California energy goals more difficult to accomplish, I strongly urge you to withdraw the ruling. Thank you.
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Josh Taylor, and today I'm representing the 90,000 skilled men and women of the Western States Regional Council of Carpenters. Our members and contracting partners have a long history of installing BESS systems throughout California, utilizing carpenters, millwrights, and pile drivers to do so. All this having been done safely and efficiently, aiding in the transition to cleaner energy and state climate goals. That said, the proposed rulemaking to change regulatory standards on numerous contractors that have been historically allowed to install and maintain warranty items on BESS projects is discriminatory to the contractor and consumer. This proposed rule, if approved, will potentially lead to mass layoffs of existing workforces and cost increases to consumers. And I therefore implore this board to reject staff recommendation, withdraw the rulemaking. Thank you.
I got a point of clarification from staff. This rulemaking is, there's also two other contractor classifications that can still do BESS, right? Is it A and B? Just make sure I'm hearing some conflicted information.
The A general engineering contractor as well as the B general engineering contractor, they are able to take contracts to install BESS within the scope of the statute. The A is 7056 and the B is 7057 of the Business and Professions Code, depending on whether specialized engineering knowledge and skill are involved for the A, or whether it's in connection to a structure plus two unrelated trades for a B.
And C-46 up to 80 kilowatt hours if it's attached to a solar system, correct?
Go ahead, Dave.
I just want to clarify something Mike said. The applicable classifications to install, I think we're really talking about some residential industrial solar here. The B general building class, the board has a reg that says solar constitutes two unrelated trades, therefore the B can do it. The A can only do it under limited circumstances, so it's really the B, the C-10, and the C-46 for the, they can do it.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification, because some of the public commenters, I was getting a little bit more confused there, so thanks.
But Dave, can the B do BESS on its own? Or a B with a C-46 currently?
A B general building contractor, because of another board reg, can do solar independent of anything else. Because solar was determined to consist of two unrelated trades, therefore the B general building class can contract to install solar.
Understood for solar, but some of this stuff says it's an independent system, so can a B licensed contractor come and install just a BESS system without solar?
And we would consider that to be out of classification. By saying a B can contract for specialty trades, how, independent of other trades, however, they must subcontract it to the appropriate specialty contract. They would not be able to self-perform that.
Go ahead, state your name, please.
Good afternoon. My name's Nick Armstrong. I'm the Senior Staff Electrical Program Manager for Tesla and also the RME C-10 Electrical Contractor for Tesla. Tesla is California's largest manufacturer employer, supporting nearly 40,000 jobs in the state. In addition to the manufacturing the world's best-selling electric vehicles, Tesla also manufactures and installs battery storage systems at scales from small 5 kW systems to grid-scale batteries in the hundreds of megawatts. While Tesla holds both the C-10 and C-46 license, we oppose the regulations as proposed. We feel the threshold could be safely raised to 280 kilowatt hours as proposed by CALSA. Small, modular, plug-and-play batteries like our 13.5 kilowatt hour Powerwall system can be stacked together or installed in different parts of the premises well beyond the 80 kW limit without increasing safety risk. Tesla provides rigorous training for the Powerwall installation and safety to hundreds of solar providers across the state who act as our channel partners. We also feel that the C-46 should be allowed to retro and maintain storage on the existing solar arrays, an outcome that is consistent with the state's policy objectives. And we feel the implementation timeline should be extended by several years to allow businesses sufficient time to get their employees trained and licensed. With the state's ambitious climate goals requiring significant additions of battery storage to the grid, and the CPUC's new net billing tariff effectively requiring storage on all new solar arrays, the CSLB should be careful to ensure its regulations do not harm small solar and battery contractors and hinder these important policy objectives. Thank you.
Can you tell me what your name was again?
Yeah, Nick Armstrong.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jonathan Gemma. I'm with Aztec Solar, a contractor in Rancho Cordova down the street. 44 years in business, and I myself 21 years in the solar industry. We have a B1 and a C-46. Urge you to vote against the proposed regulations that threaten to stifle the vital work that California solar industry, particularly concerning the C-46 for solar and energy storage. These regulations, if implemented, would have severe repercussions to our state's solar workforce, hinder progress toward our clean energy goals, and render our solar-specific license certification useless. Furthermore, the proposed regulations would inhibit our ability to uphold mandated warranties, resulting in significant disruption in our business operations. In this contract that we have right here, we're mandated a 10-year workmanship warranty. It also states alterations by others would void the warranty. So my question is, when a customer, one of our customers that we're not able to repair or maintain and is needed, calls the CSLB because we say we cannot service that or maintain it, it has to be by somebody else, what is that response going to be? We have thousands of customers over 44 years, solar and solar storage, that need to be taken care of. We need to be the ones to do that because it's our warranty that is mandated by the board. In light of these concerns, I strongly urge the license board to reconsider the proposed regulations and vote against the implementation. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Riley Riggs with Citadel Roofing and Solar. So I've been in the solar industry for 18 years, and I've been installing solar and batteries and servicing them. I'm the service manager for Citadel, so I'm honoring all of our warranties and fixing everything. I got my C-10 7 years ago on the other side of this building. And as a C-10, I read through this proposal, and it's from so I'm a technical guy. So from a technical standpoint, this is, it's misleading you with oversimplifications. Because it's saying that solar and a storage system are separate electrical systems, which is kind of true. So you can install solar by itself, right? Yes. You can install a battery by itself, yes, right? Single, separate systems, right? But once you install them together, they are now the same system. They are married. In fact, it's very much like a marriage. Like, you may have been single and your spouse may have been single, and then you got married, and now you are a different entity. Legally, you're a different entity, you know? Like, you only have to file one tax return now. And so, I mean, you can test this. You can go out with your spouse someplace and tell somebody that you're single and see how that goes over, right? And so and I've been here since the beginning. I've been listening, and I kind of took some notes. And at 9:19, Registrar David Folk said, "We want to make sure licensees are taking care of their customers," end quote. You can play the tape back. I wrote it down as you said it. And I think that everyone in this room agrees with that statement. But this proposal makes it impossible. Like, it contradicts that statement. And so I think that the C-46 should entail all solar and stored solars, because if this passes, these, and I was listening to your thing too, 200 calls per month on solar complaints. You better hire some more phone techs, because you're gonna get a lot more calls for warranties that can no longer be honored. Thank you.
Thank you for giving us the chance to comment today. My name's Sean Taylor, founder and owner of Taylor Energy Systems. We are a C-46 contractor, and we've been installing solar and battery systems for over 14 years now. And we employ at least 12 to 15 people, full-time jobs at any given time. These are high-quality jobs. These are technical jobs. These people it's a livelihood for these people. It's a great industry, and this measure would decimate hundreds of employers like me and thousands of jobs like this. It also, as has been stated, reiterated, it makes it impossible for us to actually honor our warranties that we have out in the field. And I think most importantly is a C-46 and a C-10 contractor come to the table with part of the skills that are needed to install these battery systems. They're paired with solar, but ultimately this is a young industry with incredibly quickly changing technology, and almost all of the major battery manufacturers require that you actually complete their installation training and become certified manufacturer installers. And so whether you have a C-46 or a C-10, all of us need to complete that training to get qualified to install that technology. So there really is no difference in terms of how a C-46 or a C-10 should approach the installation of these products. We all have to have the same level of skills there. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Stacy Ranexis. I am founder and CEO of Power Tree Services. I hold 9 patents in the field of battery technology and solar energy systems integration. I've also founded another battery storage company called STEM. We currently manufacture equipment designed specifically and solely for use in multifamily, residential, or mixed-use properties. We sell through contractors. We also have some direct sales and some direct installation, and hold licenses within the company directly through our RME, B, C-10, and C-46. Most of our subcontractors are C-46. We train them. And the customers that we have require maintenance agreements. We have entered into 20-year maintenance agreements and supply and operations agreements with our customers, serving thousands upon thousands of low-income and market-rate tenants. Should this pass in the form that you have presented, we will not be able to honor our agreements for those maintenance agreements. So who will the tenants go to? Who will the property owners go to? Who will they sue when this happens? This also devastates the investment and the marketing effort and the training that we have provided to all of these contractors. As a manufacturer, we are also focused on providing and meeting the state's laws under Title 24 in providing solar and battery. Battery is mandated. And in multifamily properties, there's a specific formula for this, which easily exceeds 80 kilowatt hours per building, much less on a per project basis. So this law or this proposed regulation change is going to be, as others have said, absolutely devastating, not just to single family, which most folks have been referring to, but absolutely to multifamily and absolutely to the low-income residents who are just now, starting to be able to receive the benefits of solar, electric vehicle charging, and resiliency, right? If you have an outage in a low-income household, you lose your refrigerator, that's over $500 in cost. Most low-income households cannot sustain a single $500 loss. That's the consequence. Thank you.
Good afternoon now. My name is Karen Polstra. My husband and I own a small solar installation company in San Diego County. We are a small business. We are women and minority owned, and both my husband and I work full-time in our company, so basically this is it for us, right? We have to make sure that we stay in business, and you guys right now, sorry I'm getting emotional, make it really, really difficult because you're trying to restrict us from basically doing what we've been doing. I've been in business for 20 years, in solar for 20 years. Our company got started 17 years ago. We've been doing this for a long time with no issues, no fires, nothing burned down. We take our ethical commitment to our contracting business and to our customers very, very serious. So when I read through that package and it says you guys can install new energy storage system with solar, then I don't understand the logic behind it when I cannot go back to my existing customers and give them a solar system, energy storage system, because maybe they're aging out of their initial 20-year grandfathering that they got with their solar. What is the difference between me adding something to a system that I installed 5, 6 years ago, 3 years ago, or install a new system with a new solar system with a new energy storage added to it? The other thing also, I would like to say what my other colleagues already said. We are not only obligated by you, but by the CPUC as well, the utilities. It's part of the interconnection agreement and application that we have to submit, that we provide a 10-year warranty to our clients. And frankly, the first speaker spoke about installing energy systems into data centers and hospitals. I have no interest to go into a data center or to hospital installing energy, right? I want to serve my neighborhood. I want to serve our residential customers in San Diego County. I have no interest in working on a substation or whatever else. This is completely taken out of context. And with regard to Citadel Solar, did I get it right? When he made the comparison between single into a couple, it is so true because manufacturers, inverter manufacturers, they're switching over to hybrid inverters, which means we only need one piece of equipment to install both systems. What that also means is that that one piece of equipment talks to both sides, right? It takes the solar energy, it tells the battery when to charge, when to discharge, when to get it back to the grid. So if we cannot go back and service, is that inverter now a solar piece of equipment? Does it belong to the battery storage? We don't know. So it just
Thank you. Your
creates a
time
lot
is
of
up.
confusion that's completely unnecessary. Thank you. I urge you to vote no on this.
Hello, CSLB Board. My name is Phil Allwit. I'm the CEO of Solarcraft, and we're a 40-year-old solar and battery storage company based in the North Bay. We have 50 employees. We're 100% employee-owned. We're an ESOP. And we have an obligation to our thousands of customers that we have been installing solar and batteries for years. The obligation is the warranty that previous speakers have talked about that is regulated by the state, that is required by the state and other authorities. But we also have O&M, operations and maintenance agreements, 5, 10-year agreements. They're contracts. We can't break our contract. We have to maintain these systems. So I urge you, do not pass this rule. It's detrimental to our business. It could put us or many other solar companies out of business, employees on the streets. It's bad for California. It's bad for the green initiatives and the requirements that California hopes to achieve. And I urge you, just do not pass this rule. Thank you.
Hello, board members. My name is Aaron Nitzken. I'm the Executive Vice President of Solar at Citadel Roofing and Solar. You just heard from my colleague. Citadel is a very large residential and small commercial roofing, solar, and battery contractor. We employ around 1,000 people across the state. We only operate in the state of California. We have almost a third of our employees are supporting our solar business. We support a lot of production home builders. And so we're very active at installing solar and batteries and roofing in new construction communities. As a large roofing contractor, we think about safety every minute of every day. Roofing is considered one of the most dangerous trades that are out there. And we take batteries very seriously. And I think everyone with a C-46 takes the safety aspects of batteries just as seriously, and that is what this is about. If this is about safety, I think that we're going down the wrong path. The manufacturers require that an installer gets certified before they're allowed to install their battery. That is one level of protection that I think is very, very important to consider. The other piece that we are struggling with today is we have a hard time finding people to actually install batteries. There are very few people out there that have experience installing batteries, let alone certified electricians that want to come and install batteries. And as a company that's growing, it's really hard to do that, especially with the demand that we're seeing for batteries under the NEM3 structure. So I strongly request that you consider rejecting this proposal. Thank you.
Can you say your last name again, please?
Nitzken.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Matt Collins, and I also work for Solarcraft. You heard from my colleague Phil just a minute ago. As he said, it's a small employee-owned company, and as he said, it's an ESOP, so I'm an employee, but I also have a stake in the ownership of the company. This bill negatively impacts my company's ability to do business by proposing a change to current practice. C-46 is allowed to install solar and batteries up to 80 kilowatt hours but not service those same battery systems. Doesn't make sense and prevents a contractor from maintaining their own warranty. Batteries are effectively required for new solar systems to be properly cost effective under NEM3 MBT. So it has to be on almost every job. And it doesn't make sense to divorce the contractor license for solar from batteries when new components, as mentioned earlier, are being introduced that bring the two things closer together. The popular Tesla Powerwall 3, for instance, has a single inverter that's in the battery compartment, which converts the PV DC power to AC and feeds to the home. So it's one cabinet that contains both battery and PV. And it doesn't make sense to have to install both, but only service one of these integrated components. We're solar experts. We know what we're doing. We have product training, on-the-job training. We've been doing this. We follow federal and state electrical code, and projects are inspected for safety. Claims of customer safety concerns being presented today are nothing more than scare tactics, so please reject this proposal. Thanks.
Thank you. My name is Laura Stamen, and I'm a homeowner, and I live in the town of Windsor in Sonoma County. I'm opposed to the CSLB proposal concerning home battery systems. My family bought our solar and battery system to do our part to address climate change. We have a 6.4 kilowatt system with 16 rooftop solar panels and a 10 kilowatt hour battery. Please do not go through this with this proposal. Getting solar and a battery system is already hard and complicated for consumers like us. Inserting another company in the process for maintenance and upgrades just makes it worse. When our system was installed, our building inspector, who is a licensed electrician with decades of experience, inspected the installation and said that he was impressed. He was impressed with how the system was wired and installed. This work was done by a licensed solar contractor. Our warranty runs through 2032. It took us a long time to find a company we trusted to do our installation, after we would be in a relationship for 10 years with them at least. And we met with several companies and read many reviews and talked with references before finding a company that we wanted to work with. We have had them back to do warranty work, and at every step of the way, they have been terrific and helpful. They have lived up to their reputation and stood behind their work and their products. Again, this is a licensed solar contractor. The proposal would force me to bring in a third party for upgrades or warranty work, and any work done may void my warranty. And even if it did not, you create a situation where the original contractor can blame any problem on the new electrician, and the new electrician can blame the original contractor for any problems. That leaves me stuck in the middle, unable to hold either of them accountable. So please do not make it harder for consumers by accepting this proposal. Thank you.
Hi there, good afternoon. My name is Lauren Nevitt. I'm a Senior Director of Policy for Sunrun. Thank you for the opportunity to provide comment on the proposed rulemaking today. We urge you to reject the staff recommendation and to withdraw the solar licensing rulemaking. As the nation's leading provider of clean energy as a subscription service, Sunrun serves nearly 1 million customers nationally, and we've installed over 90,000 residential energy storage systems. The regulatory proposal before you today is ill-conceived and the record is incomplete. If approved by this board, the rulemaking will impede the ability of solar contractors to perform their livelihoods, serve customers, and execute on the state's energy goals. We at Sunrun are particularly concerned that prohibiting repairs and retrofits will render the C-46 license useless. Why is a C-46 licensee prohibited from performing repair or retrofit work on the same energy storage system that they installed? The restriction defies logic, and we urge you to vote no. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Holt. I'm a proud state certified electrician. Spent most of my career working for AC Electric Company in Bakersfield, California. I support the board accepting the staff recommendation and authorizing the final rulemaking. Out of respect for the board and the attendees, I'm going to keep my comments short, and I wanted to focus more on really what's important to me. As an electrician that's familiar with that entire code book, there's a kind of a saying in the industry that everything in that book was written with blood. And it's clear that solar systems are covered by Article 690, 691. They do not cover BESS units. In fact, 690, 71 refers to Article 706, which covers that. So these are clearly separate systems covered by different code articles, and I think that should be taken into consideration. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Stafford Nichols. I'm an economist at Beacon Economics. My colleagues and I evaluated the economic impacts of the proposed CSLB regulation, and we submitted a study reporting our findings during the 45-day comment period. So really quickly, to conduct this study, we utilized two data sets. The first was the California Interconnected Projects data sets, which gives information about every installation connected to the grid in terms of the size of it, the project price, who installed it, when it was installed, et cetera. Second, we use the CSLB's Master List of California Licensed Contractors, which provides the license classification for each contractor. So by combining these data sets, we were able to understand exactly which type of contractor, based on their license type, have installed which types of installations over the last 30 years. We analyzed over 864,000 projects, and using these, we're able to anticipate the changes we can expect to various markets and contractors based on this rule, as well as the broader economy as a whole. The way we calculated the effects of the broader economy was by using a multi-regional input-output model, which is the standard economic impact model. So what we found is the following causal chain of events. First, if the board approves this regulation, solar installers' cost of labor will increase at least 46%, probably more, but we made a lot of conservative assumptions in all of our modeling. This will increase the price of installations by at least 4% and lower demand for future installations by at least 7.3% moving forward. This decreased demand will affect different market segments in different ways. But the overall high-level findings are that it'll negatively impact the California economy by $86.9 million in a given 12-month period after the implementation of this rule. $53.1 million of this effect will be directly on solar installers, and the rest will be the solar supply chain and lower household consumption. This decrease in economic activity means a decrease of earned income of $23.9 million. Additionally, this decrease will result in less tax revenue, $13 million overall and $4.9 million less tax revenue to the state of California. The report has more details, but I'll just also mention that because of these, the regulation and the diminished demand for solar power as a result, an estimated 10 million more pounds of carbon dioxide will be emitted into the atmosphere that otherwise would not have. So please refer to our report for further details, and thank you very much for your time.
I don't mean to, you tell me your name again?
Stafford Nichols.
Stafford Nichols, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, when you please come up, can you say your name as clear as possible? These comments are going to be recorded, and I would make sure that your comments and your name are being accurately reported. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Gaston Moore. I'm a certified electrician. Worked for AC Electric for a good portion of my career. I support the board accepting the staff recommendation and authorizing the final rulemaking. To show respect to the board and all attendees' time, I'm going to limit my comments. The unique risks and hazards associated with BESS require different skills and knowledge than solar installation. This is demonstrated by separate codes, installation, and fire and life safety standards for solar PV systems and for BESS. An improperly installed BESS could cause serious public safety hazards, including electrocution, arc flashes, explosion, arc blasts, and fires. Numerous California Fire Code requirements apply to BESS, but not to solar systems. C-46 workers have no requirements for electrical training, testing, or certification. That's all I have. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you for giving us the opportunity for comments. My name is Michael Ingram. I'm the founder, owner, and operator of Michael & Son Solar in Grayson, California, Sonoma County. I'm here in opposition of the proposed battery limitations to the C-46 license. Since the PG&E NEM 3 decision or change, we have been dependent on battery sales, including hundreds of retrofits to existing customers and the maintenance of those already installed. Without these battery sales, my business, my employees, and countless other businesses are at risk of unemployment. Despite the code citing and fancy, dangerous words that some of the C-10s have brought up, this is not a safety issue. The manufacturers of the current battery products have designed a very safe and reliable product. They provide in-house mandatory training that is thorough, updated, and consistent. The products they provide are pre-engineered. 30 seconds. This eliminates risk and error in calculation of installation. These batteries are no more dangerous than the gas tanks on the homeowner's generators on the side of their house, and neither is the installation of these batteries. Furthermore, this would create poor consumer experience. Consumers would need to hire 2 contractors and vet 2 contractors, and those contractors would need to communicate well between themselves, which does not happen. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon, Chair Love and members of the Contractor State License Board. My name is Charles Taylor. I live in El Cerrito, California. My wife and I are in our 70s and look forward to living in our home for many years to come. We are opposed to the board's proposal concerning home battery systems. We have a 4-kilowatt solar panel system on my roof installed in 2020 by SunPower and a Tesla installed Powerwall battery. The system has worked flawlessly over the past 4 years to provide power to our home and to share excess power to the PG&E grid. It powers my electrical appliances, including a heat pump, heating system, my electric vehicle, and my induction range, and the rest of my home's electrical needs. We bought the solar panels and battery with a long-term perspective that they would power our home, and the warranties would ensure that while my wife and I live in our home, we would have prompt and certain repairs. The proposed rule changes ignore this board's own research that found no evidence of safety problems for the people who install solar panels and batteries. The rule changes are unnecessary for the installers and economically dangerous to the homeowners who have solar and batteries. They would put most solar users like me in an impossible situation. The regulations could force me to hire a different contractor than the one who did the original work to either add or a service or a battery at my home. In most cases, as you've heard, will void the warranty. In addition, these rules would reduce the number of solar contractors available to install or service a solar battery. This would limit choices for consumers and drive up the cost of getting a solar or a battery. I strongly urge you to reject these proposed changes. They are roadblocks to people like me who want to electrify our appliances and save our state, county, and world from disastrous climate change. Thank you.
Before you start to speak, I just want to let the people know that right after you speak, we're going to take a 10-minute break.
Good afternoon. My name is Susanna Porti. I am a middle-class homeowner of a small bungalow in Berkeley with solar panels and a battery. In a few minutes, you're going to start hearing from a whole slew of IBEW workers and lobbyists and lawyers for PG&E and the IBEW. They've all been paid to be here today, and I'm not paid. I'm a volunteer. I am volunteering my time to come here all the way from Berkeley on behalf of California ratepayers. Californians' fundamental right to make and store their own energy is being threatened by PG&E, a bully and multiple-time convicted felon. Remember, PG&E are the same folks who brought you the Erin Brockovich contamination, the San Bruno explosion, the Butte fire, the Tubbs fire, the Camp fire, the Kincaid fire, and thousands more. And now they're trying to claim that licensed solar contractors don't do safe work? Don't believe a word of their baloney. This has nothing to do with safety. It's all about corporate profit and control. PG&E is doing everything it can to maintain and gain control of all power produced in this state so that they can price gouge ratepayers. Board members, please vote no on 3B. Please continue to allow licensed solar contractors to add a battery to or repair a solar system they have already installed. It is their fundamental right, it works, and it is safe. Message to PG&E, hands off our solar systems, hands off our batteries. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'll see you back at 20 till 2.